Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Stanley, and today I will be doing a director's commentary on my team's mystery thriller film opening. Within our group, we were all in charge of our own the pre-production for the film. This worked really well for us as we were able to get more done in a shorter space of time than if we'd done certain parts. For example, I did the location recce for the location you can currently see on screen. We chose this location as we wanted a woodland location, and this was our closest one. This meant we did not need any other form of transport except for walking, and this saved us money and time. As we worked separately on some things, it did work really well as it meant we were all able to contribute whilst getting everything done at a reasonable pace. The scene you're seeing at the minute was originally a phone conversation scene, as we had so many interesting characters that we needed to introduce in a short period of time. Whilst the desired look of this scene would have been very effective, it involved too many complex elements when it came to editing that meant we didn't quite get the achieved look we wanted. This meant that as a group, we decided that a scene involving a scrapbook with images of all of us would be better. We did manage our resources well, however, due to the last minute change to this scene, it meant that we had to suddenly acquire the book. So this was the only resource that we were not prepared with. However, myself and another team member used an hour of our time to put it together and in order to make it appear realistic. So we ended up calling our film Watch House, and this was due to the location that we filmed the majority of our scenes at, as it was called Watch House Hill. And we thought that it would be an appropriate name for the film as it had a slightly thriller-esque name, as well as being focused around the location. So we had all of our scripts and shot lists kept in a folder together so that they all remained safe and organised for whenever we needed them during filming. This meant that we constantly had them safe. However, it could have been a problem if the person whose locker they were in was not in that day, as we would then not have been able to access them. A possible alternative is if we had everyone having copies in their own lockers, and then we would have had them no matter who was in. All of our tripods, microphones, and cameras for the film were borrowed, and they all remained safely together when we borrowed them from. This meant we could easily find them and ensure they were safely locked away. We were all in charge of providing all the costumes that you can see in the film. We also had then production schedules and pre-made costume mood boards, which were checked before filming days. We also had someone in our group overseeing costumes, and this meant that everybody had the right costume on the right day. It worked well as we were able to keep our budgets low by using stuff that we all had in our wardrobes. This also helped our characters to seem more realistic. So one of the main crises that we had during filming is that some people weren't in at certain times and occasions. This meant that we did struggle to get things done as we needed the absent person present. So, for example, the scene you're seeing at the minute was refilmed, as we did lose some footage, and we also had someone missing from the filming day. So we did have to change the scenes overall when we were rewatching it. We decided that as a group, if we had watched our film through at more regular intervals, we would have been able to see what we needed changing a lot sooner, which would have saved us time in the long run. The communication was not always the best between our teams, as we used a group chat on a social media platform, and non-related messages would often get sent to the group. This did cause some miscommunication at certain times, as certain messages were missed by certain people. The commun- At the minute, you can see that the tent in the shot is a different colour to the rest of it. This was because we borrowed the tent. We borrowed a tent for us. However, we could not use it on one of the days due to unforeseen weather conditions. This meant that we had to quickly find a replacement for our team. Luckily, I was able to find a tent of a similar size at home and bring it in. So whilst the issue was quickly resolved, it meant that the tent was a different colour to the other teams, which was not necessarily ideal. We had a risk assessment throughout filming. However, whilst we stuck to this point, it was never 100%. For example, we did not always carry a first aid kit, which we wrote we would. If we'd also factored in weather conditions into our risk assessment, it could have been better, as at one point somebody slipped over, and this was due to weather conditions that had recently taken place. Again, as I said, the main crisis that we had was certain individuals not coming in on filming days. We were not aware of this in advance, and this meant we had to change various scenes on the day as we did not have a complete cast. One of the days I was not able to be there, however, I was able to inform the group this plenty of time in advance so we could work out what was going to be filmed on that day. during our film, we never actually set a definite project manager. This meant that at points it was difficult due to clashes of interest at certain times. In order to improve this, I think that we should have set a project manager for each individual scene and part of pre-production, such as somebody project managed scene one, somebody did scene two, and so on. If we did do this, we would have managed to pull together as a if we did do this, then it meant we all would have been able to be in charge of a scene and then agree at the end. However, we did manage to pull out together as a group when it was needed and managed to produce a quality final outcome. Again, the scene you're seeing now was again refilmed, and this was due to certain problems that we had when we came to editing. This could have been avoided if we had watched our film at more regular intervals, as we wouldn't have wasted time refilming scenes that we already had footage for. However, due to them being lost, it meant that we couldn't use them. And that is where our film finishes. However, we also created a behind the scenes blooper reel in order to show the process of us filming, as well as some parts that weren't included. So we decided that we would have our tent inside, as this would make it a lot easier for us to film when we were doing the scenes inside the tent. And then this meant that also the lighting could be correct for the time of day we needed to set the scene. And this is what we're seeing at the minute. This was an excerpt from the original phone conversation that went wrong. Again, these are some outtakes from when we were filming. We also all have online blogs, and these videos are both on them. On this, we were able to keep all of our pre-production documents so that we could easily display them and find the one we needed. We also have access to all other copies of them in online drives. In order to manage our time effectively, we split up at various points to get two jobs done at the same time. So, for example, this scene you're seeing right now, when myself and another team member split up to put the tent up, and then the other group went and filmed some establishing shots. This was a deleted scene as we rechanged this element, as well as we didn't feel it fitted our film properly. So overall, I'm very proud of what myself and my team managed to create with our film. And I think that whilst we had some struggles with the pre-production, overall we managed to pull together as a group and work it out so that we could create a quality final project. Thank you for listening.